land of Egypt, and Moses split the Red Sea and brought them out to the wilderness. You ever heard of that? Read that right quick, Deuteronomy 1 and 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Moses talking to all Israel, right?
On this side of Jordan in the wilderness.
And then, he split the Red Sea and he brought them to the wilderness. Now look what he told them. It's going to be quick, but it's going to show you something about who you are. Go ahead, 28:1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
This is what he told them, right? You think everybody was created equal? Check this out.
And this shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
So God told Moses to tell the children of Israel, he said, if y'all listen to God's commandments,
which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth.
So he told the Israelites, if y'all keep them commandments, you're going to be above all the other nations of the earth, right? Flip side step.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
all these what?
All these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said, you don't listen, curses gonna come on, right? Now let's see what they chose. Daniel 9 and 11. Let's see what they chose, because what he was offering them was like, keep the commandments, you're gonna be above all people. If you don't keep the commandments, you're gonna be cursed. Things gonna come upon you, and we're gonna go through some of them curses, identify your nationality. Let's see what they chose first.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
He said the entire Israel, they broke God's laws. Go ahead.
Even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
Well, he said they all broke it, so now the curse is on them, right? Check this out.
And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against them.
Sinned against God.
And he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us,
our leaders,
by bringing upon us a great evil.
He said, we brought something upon the Israelites, a great evil.
For under the whole heaven,
what that means is, like when we look up right now, that's heaven. Under heaven is earth.
That's right.
So he said, on the whole heaven, he said, on earth. Under the whole heaven.
For under the whole heaven have not been done has been done upon Jerusalem.
So what he was saying that this curse is so bad on these people, like no other people suffered as worse than them.
Right.
Can you think of anybody that suffered worse than us?
Yeah.
Nobody, right? What you think is the worst thing that ever happened to us ever in history? Deuteronomy, go back to the curses.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Check this out. Now this is from 15 on down, it gives you the curses, right? Check this out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said the Lord gonna bring you into Egypt again. Let's find out what that word Egypt is. Because the Israelites, when they were brought out of Egypt, they never went back into Egypt as a nation. Never did that. They split them, they brought them into the land of Israel, right? So let's see what this word is.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So the land of Egypt means house of bondage. That's slavery. Right? Now go back to Deuteronomy.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68.
Check this out.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said the Lord gonna bring you into Egypt or slavery again. But this time he's gonna do it what?
With ships.
What?
With ships.
That's how we got to the side of the earth. We came here on cargo slave ships, right?
By the way whereby I spake unto thee.
Moses said the same way I'm telling you, it's the same way it's gonna happen. Because we didn't believe it. That would happen over 4,000 years. Whatever. Go ahead.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said, and by the way, you're not gonna see your homeland anymore either.
And there,
and once you got off the slave ship,
ye shall be sold.
He said this was gonna happen to you. Once you got off the slave ship, you was gonna be sold
unto your enemies.
To your friends.
Unto your enemies.
Who are we sold to? What the Bible just called you?
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
Meaning no man's going to redeem you, showing you that we are still in the land of our captivity.
Right.
So that only happened to us.
Nice.
Your nationality is you're Israelite. Right. Most likely, if you so-called African Americans, you will be from the tribe of Judah. That's right. That's your nationality. You're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. The Bible gives you all. The Bible has 18 nations in this planet. No other book going to give you your true nationality. Give me Psalms 83 and 1 to show you why we don't know who we are. They put that term on us, American Black, African American, in 1986.
That's right.
Jesse Jackson came up with that. Black,
Afro-American.
Afro-Americans, all those terms going on.
Oh, man.
But nobody never, where do those terms come from? How do we not know what land we came from?
Right.
We say Africa, right? Africa is a continent.
Right.
What country? 52 countries there. We don't know that. But this is why the Bible tells you all this.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Check this out. I want you to listen real close. They will let you go. Right? Just check this out.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Now this is King David prophesying to the Most High, saying things that was going to happen to the Israelites, right? Watch.
Hold not thy peace.
He's saying, God, don't hold your peace.
Be not still, O God.
Uh-huh.
For lo, thy enemies
Enemies. Now who were we sold? That's right. Those enemies. Now watch this.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
The enemies make a tumult. Tumult is like an angry gathering. They came together. They were angrily kind of discussing things, right?
And they that hate thee have lifted up thy head.
Uh-huh.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Crafty is sneaky counsel. So they came together angrily and it was sneaky. They didn't let everybody know about their counsel, right?
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
We are God's children. We are God's people, right?
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
They say, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may be in no more in remembrance.
They said, let's cut them off from being a nation that they'll never remember that they're
Right.
Israelites. That's what happened. Keep going.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They said they have consulted together with one consent, meaning they all agree finally.
They are confederate against thee.
Now watch, you going to name them, and I'm going to let you know who they are today. Go
The
ahead.
tabernacles of Edom.
Edom is your so-called white man who was sold to.
That's right.
When you go to the Bible, you're going to find, hold that right quick. He said the tabernacle of Edom. Let me show you that it's the white man. Go to Genesis 25:21. Show you what the book says. The book got everybody. Just never read it. That's to get up on this thing and for one scripture and just go to screaming and hollering. That's foolishness. The Bible, when you read it, it tells you who you are and who you are.
That's right.
These are the last days. Coronavirus is in there. All of that stuff, pestilence is going to come. It's going to get a lot worse. Good.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 21.
Check this out.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
Isaac is our forefather, right? It's Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And that's what we're about to read in Jacob.
Because she was barren.
Our mother, Rebecca, she couldn't have kids.
And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
So he went to the Lord, and the Lord said, she can't have kids, but he ended up allowing her to have kids, and so she conceived, right?
And the children struggled together within her.
So she had 2 kids in her that was struggling in her, right?
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
If it said, if this come from you, God, why the hell are they fighting inside of us?
Right? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
Check this out. She got two kids in her, and the Lord told her, you got 2 nations of people in you. So one was going to be the forefather of one nation, and one was going to be the forefather of another nation. So she was bringing in 2 nations of people. Right? Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
The mannerism is going to be different, right?
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Yeah, one of them going to be stronger than others. Physically smarter. When we in our right mind, we way smarter than the so-called right mind. We physically stronger. Faster than them, better than everything, right? Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
He said the elder, the first one that comes out, the elder, he's going to serve, ultimately at the end, he's going to serve the younger one. Because slavery going to be in the kingdom of heaven.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red.
The first one came out what?
Red.
He said the first one came out red. Now let's examine white people, right? Are white people the color of this? Are they this color? They this color? You ever seen the white? What color are they actually? Aren't they closer to, don't we call them red?
You might see one right now. Here go one right here. What color it is? Look. What color it is?
Look at this thing. Look, peachy
That's red,
white,
huh?
right? He said the first one came out red.
And the first came out red. Where I'm at. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
And they hairy. They got hair all over their back,
Right.
neck, tongue, baby.
And they call his name Esau.
They call it Esau.
That's right.
Now, remember that name Esau?
And after that came his brother out.
Brother came up,
And his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
called Jacob.
And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare him. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter.
say Esau was red and hairy all over. Right? What about Jacob? Why didn't he go to Genesis 2? They'll show you why.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
He said, when God was forming all men, he formed men of the dust of the ground. What is the dust of the ground? This was the first account of him bringing in another nation. You notice that everybody could trace back to being brown except for the so-called white man.
That's right.
Everybody else, even you could go to Chinese people. Chinese, look at how the Arabs look.
Right.
The original Arabs, what is it? This is the sub-Saharan slave trade. Now this is the so-called Arabs. You see how dark the Arabs was at one time? Well, why are they so damn light now? What happened to them? They started blending with him. But they were just as dark as us at one time. But what happened was, God was bringing in a whole other nation. A nation that's different than everybody. That's why they describe them in that way. Go back to what you got?
Psalms?
Yeah. Go back to Psalms. I'll explain it to you. Go back to what Psalms.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be in no more in remembrance.
Forget who you are.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom. Now, hold on. Go to Genesis, Jack. Show you who Edom is. Because remember we brought up Esau. Esau was red and hairy. Let's see who Edom is.
It's the book of Genesis.
I think it's 36. 36 and
It's
1.
the book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau.
Now he's about to tell you the
Who is Edom?
Who is what?
Who is Edom?
Now go back to Psalms 8. So Esau is, but they the same people.
Right.
Just another term. Edom just means great.
Right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom
Edom is the so-called white man.
and the Ishmaelites.
Ishmaelites. Now who y'all think the Ishmaelites are?
Ishmael.
Ishmael. This will be the so-called Arabs or the Ishmaelites.
You go ask that dude
Like
up
the
in the corner
Arabs.
right now. Be like, you from Ishmael? Yeah, Ishmael.
They know who they come from. That's Ishmael is an Arab. So, but God says he's giving you a list of enemies of God. So the so-called white man is an enemy of God. So-called Arab is an enemy of God.
Of Moab
Moab is the Chinese. Even they are enemies of God.
and the Hagarenes.
The Hagarenes are Africans.
That's right.
Because even though we look like, we're all different. Like they might have, like, see the Arabs were this color and we were this color. Like, the Africans and the Arabs are this color. We also this color. But we are not the same. Go ahead.
Gabal.
Gabal is more African. Because even
Hammer?
Africans ain't the same thing.
Right.
Because like you might say you African American. Like I told you, there's 52 countries there. Over 4,000 tribes there. They not even the same.
Right.
Right, go ahead.
And Hammon.
Ammon is a so-called Japanese man. Right?
And Amalek.
Amalek is a so-called white man that's saying that they're the Jews. Those are good.
The Philistines.
The Philistines are those people that's in Palestine right now. Right?
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre and Zidon, those people are more African. But all I'm trying to get to a point is they came together with one consent to take your nationality from you. Because how important. Show me what Genesis 32 where you was, show me what that name Israel actually means. And why they wanted to take it from you. I think it's 32:27.
Book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 27.
That's why they don't want you to know that you're Israel.
And he said unto him, what is thy name?
So this is our forefather Jacob. He was wrestling with an angel, right? And the angel actually said, what's your name?
And he said, Jacob.
He said, my name's Jacob.
And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob,
He said, your name ain't no more Jacob. Jacob means trickster. He said, your name ain't trickster no more.
but Israel.
But what?
But Israel.
Now he's about to tell him what the word Israel means.
For as a prince has thou power with God, and with men it has prevailed.
He said, you're a prince, and you have power with God and with me, and you prevail. Meaning you win. That's what the name is. That's why they don't want you to have that name. Because if you knew you were a king, you're going to conduct yourself as a king. You're going to do things that kings do. And that's what we're going to, because God gave us, go back to the law, back to the commandments, go back to Deuteronomy 28:20. Because that's what he was doing, to get up to the dust ourselves.
Check this out. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And this shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
All his commandments, the commandments. And that's how you put up yourself as a king.
That's right.
By doing God's commandments. Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Aren't y'all tired of being at the bottom? I'm tired of being at the bottom. But the thing is, we gotta do it as a nation. We can't just one or two of us get in and out. No. We're raising up a nation right now. But they have one law, right? Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Good precept. Watch this.
For thou art an holy people.
This is the Israelites. You're a separate and set apart people.
Unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
Now, out of all the nations of the earth, God chose the Israelites. He didn't choose everybody. He chose the Israelites.
To be a special people unto himself. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So he said, on the face of the earth, these are my people. And it goes, go to the end of the book, because it didn't change. That's the Old Testament was in. Go to the New Testament. Y'all know how many gates there is there? I know y'all know already. How many gates there is there? Because everything, we learn about the sky. I don't know right there. Check this out.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 12.
Check this out.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates.
How many?
12 gates.
You know why they got 12 gates now?
And that, go ahead.
These are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's
We're
right.
about to read it. Go ahead.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12
They
gates.
had 12 gates.
And at the gates 12
They had
angels.
an angel at each gate.
And names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
These are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right.
You will most likely be from Judah. Show you that. Hebrews 7:14. Show you who else came from Judah.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Our Lord sprang out of Judah. Christ came out of Judah.
That's right.
You read the text, you'll find out that Christ came out of Judah.
Why they hate us the most.
Go to Genesis 49 and 8. Show you another thing about you. How heavy, how important you are to the Most High.
It's the book of Genesis,
Start
chapter
at 1 and then jump to
chapter
8.
49, verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and
Jacob
said,
is our forefather. You know, he was on his way to die, so he called all his sons. He called all these sons.
That's right.
To come to him to tell him what's going to happen to him.
gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
These are the last days.
Right.
Now he's about to tell him what's going to befall you.
Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brothers shall praise.
He said Judah because the Most High was going to raise up the children of Israel. That's who he raised up. That's how we know we are Judah. All other tribes ain't, not many of them are out. Like Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are really the main tribes that's out here right now. But all the rest of them are coming on board. But right now, the Most High is raising up Judah from our people. So now we the ones got to deal with all of them. Our people that's angry. Like we just dealt with a sister just now, and we told her, like, let me ask you this. It's something basic.
That's right. We're going to be finished one of y'all. Almost finished. We're going to be 3 hours.
Right. Now, when you read the Bible, can you find a description of him looking like that? Let's find out what he looked like.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter
And we're gonna go back to Genesis.
chapter 1, verse 1.
Check this out.
The Revelation.
We're gonna break it down, but it's simple. We told the sister we're gonna give the Bible gives you the description of Christ, right? If I'm telling you Judah, shouldn't he look like us? We gave her the description. She got angry, ran off. Check this out. Go ahead.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he's
Go to jump to 10.
the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 10. I was in the spirit on the Lord's day,
This is John. He said, I was in the spirit on the Lord's day, which is today, the Sabbath day.
and heard behind me a great voice, as of a trumpet,
Loud voice.
saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou
So he
seest,
told John, he said, what you see?
write in the book.
Told him put it in the Bible, right?
Verse 14. And his head and his hair.
Go on.
You
Go
keep
to
reading?
13.
Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
No, go to 12.
verse 12, and I turned to see
So John turned to see the voice that was speaking to him.
the voice that spake with me,
Uh-huh.
and being turned, I saw 7 golden
He
candlesticks.
saw 7 golden candlesticks, right? That's called the menorah, right? It's called the menorah today. All right?
And in the midst of the 7
And
candlesticks,
in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
one like unto the Son of Man,
Christ.
clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the pass with
So
the
he had a
golden girdle.
long garment on all the way down with a belt around his waist, right?
His head and his hairs were white like wool,
He said the hair on his head and the hair on his face was white and it was woolly. Who got woolly hair on this whole planet? Us. That's right. So we told the sister that she got angry. They were so, her grandkids was calling this Jesus. But once we showed her that, hey, your God has a woolly hair, look just like you. She got angry. Go ahead.
as white as snow,
Fully white.
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Meaning, when you go to Genesis 49, it tells you that Christ would come drinking wine, and that's why his eyes are red. Go ahead.
And his feet like unto the fine brass.
Now, John looked down at his feet. He said his feet like a fine brass. Brass is already brown, right? Or gold is
That's
right.
right. As if they burned in a furnace.
Now he said, it's as if it burned in the furnace. You put anything in the furnace, what color is it? You burn white rice in the oven, what color is it?
That's right.
Black. So your feet is the same color as the rest of your body.
Right.
So you got woolly texture there, and we was gonna give her that description to her, and like, okay, say you got that description, are you gonna go look for this guy, or you gonna go look for this guy? Thank you. That was simple, but the sister ran off angry.
Hear that?
She didn't want to hear that. She didn't want to know that her God is in there because her God, this God demands you to keep the laws.
That's right.
This guy, you could just come as you are and stay as you are.
Come as a homosexual.
With this guy, he's putting a lot of people to death. With this guy, give me Revelation 14 and 9. For sure, you see what this guy? Watch what's going to happen with this guy.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast,
The beast. See, that's why we got this, the image of the beast. So any man worship the image of this beast
in his image,
and his image,
and receive his mark in his forehead,
keep his mark in his forehead is talking about his, meaning that you ain't got to keep no laws, philosophies, and everything. Because this guy comes with a philosophy to do whatever the hell you want. This guy's saying you got to keep the laws, right?
or in his hand,
Or you agree with it.
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
What?
The wrath of God,
Wow.
which is poured out without mixture into the
That
cup.
means it's going to happen. Because when Christ comes back, this guy is coming to put a lot of people to death.
That's right.
This guy is giving out cupcakes and
Lollipops.
graduation gifts and stuff like that. That's what that guy comes to do.
In indignation, the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels.
That's what's going to happen. So this guy here comes with a whole different philosophy than this guy. This guy here is giving you, giving us laws, statutes, commandments to keep in the faith of Christ. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Let's get a few commandments. You eat pork, shrimp. Hold that right there. Let's deal with this. We crawfish, crab, stuff like that. Give me Leviticus chapter 9. Let's show you. Because like I said, this guy coming back to kill people that's not keeping laws.
It's the book of
Get a couple
Leviticus
of
chapter 11 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying that...
You are one of the children of Israel.
That's right.
So that's why it says, speak unto the children of Israel, showing you that this is only written to the children of Israel.
That's right.
It's not an all-inclusive book.
That's right.
This book is about the children of Israel from beginning and to end. That's why I went to what the gates look like. 12 gates, right?
Saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are in the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and be cloven-footed and cheweth the cud, among the beasts shall they
Jump
eat.
to 7.
Verse 7. And the swine,
The swine is a pig.
though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud.
A pig don't digest the same way as cows and stuff, right?
He is unclean to you.
He's what?
He is unclean to you.
He's unclean to the children of Israel. The children of Israel can't eat that. The other nation could eat what they want. You can't eat that.
Why we kept heart attacks and strokes and gout and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Of their flesh shall you not eat,
Mhm.
and their carcass shall you not touch.
Uh-huh.
They are unclean to you.
Uh-huh.
These shall you eat of all in the waters.
So he's about to tell you what you could eat in the waters, right?
Whatsoever have fins and scales.
Whatever have what?
Fins and scales.
So whatever you eat out of it have fins and scales, like redfish, perch, trout, stuff like that. You can't even eat catfish. That's got fins, it's got scales, right? Go ahead.
In the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales.
And if it don't have fins and scales,
in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
he said it's going to be an abomination, meaning God hates that thing. Give me Revelation 20, 21, 27. Show you what that abominable thing is. It's going to get you through the gate. We went right back to the gates. Let me show you if you get through the gates eating abominable.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 27. And there shall in no wise enter into anything that defileth.
Anything that defileth, meaning enter into the gates.
Neither whatsoever worketh abomination.
Working what?
Abomination.
Crabs, crawfish, catfish, all that stuff is an abomination. You're not getting through these gates.
That's right.
Go to Isaiah 66, 15. This is about to tell you when this guy come back. Watch this.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
Say, this guy coming with fire. Do it look like this guy about to come with some fire or something? Does that guy look like he coming with fire? This boy look gay, don't he? Go ahead.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire.
This guy coming with fire.
And with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Those chariots, when you go to Ezekiel 1, it tells you about these chariots. Like people been talking about UFO sightings, right? When you read the Bible, that's actually true in Ezekiel 1. It actually describes chariots. It said like Ezekiel said he seen a wheel in the middle of a wheel. It's like a UFO or flying saucer. What we think is foolishness, saying the Lord coming back in that, right?
They think it's aliens.
Right.
We know it's angels. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But the Bible speaks on that. Good.
Like chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury,
He gonna be angry.
and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire
By fire.
and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
So this how the Lord is pleading with people. This how this guy pleading with fire with a sword. Go ahead.
And the slaying of the Lord shall be many.
He's saying there's gonna be a lot of people dead I'ma kill, right?
They that sanctify themselves
Separate themselves.
and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst,
Talk about the churches.
eating swine's flesh.
Eating what?
Eating swine's flesh.
Eating pork.
And the abomination.
And the other abominable thing, crayfish, crabs, all that stuff.
And the mouse.
And the mouse. Mouse is going to, well, you know, I would say it's rabbit.
Boneless chicken
But
109.
Chinese people, they eat mouse. They actually eat it. And rats and bats and all that stuff, right?
Shall be consumed together.
They're going to be what?
Consumed together.
That fire going to get them.
Said the Lord.
Said the who?
Said the Lord.
That's what the book said.
Real.
So showing you that all the way through the Bible is dealing with law, statutes, commandments, and for the Israelites, not for everybody. It's for the Israelites.
That's right.
The other nations, that's a whole nother story. We'll just deal with them later, next time you come back.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
Oh, check this out. This is
Ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel,
This is the Most High.
and that I am the Lord your
The
God,
Lord, your God,
and none else.
and nobody else.
And
is
my
God.
people shall never be ashamed.
Once we start keeping His law, statutes, commandments, we'll never be ashamed.
That's right.
But that's what it's all about. This
That's
book,
what we out here for.
you are an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.